Let's talk about Nathaniel Hackett. A video has surfaced from his interview with the Broncos. Is Aaron Rodgers going there now because Nathaniel Hackett's there? And it seems like that big, bald guy has an incredible wealth of knowledge in the football game and also in the locker room. He's beloved by everybody. How do you see that thing panning out? And Getsy is now getting interview jobs for the Bears, I think, and maybe the Broncos. Offensive line coach maybe getting some interviews. How do you see coaching trees connecting, kind of coming together in these different places?
Yeah, first on Hackett, he is a smart dude. And he's also, I never know if this matters as a head coach, but like he's a really good guy and he's hilarious. And he's the kind of guy players really like to play for.
That matters.
So I could see what it matters.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
I hope so. He's the kind of guy like, I'm somewhat friendly with him. I guess I'll run him into him at the combine and we'll just end up
That's in high places.
No. He's a terrible source. But I'll run into him at the combine.
So he's our friend.
Get deep in where this play come from. He's such a football nerd. Like he loves it so much, and obviously grew up in it with his dad, and just he loves to talk like football and plays and what this coach is doing. He loves all of it. I think he's going to do a really good job. He's smart. He's innovative. But all you want to know about Rodgers, right? So let's get to the Rodgers part of it. I think that if Aaron Rodgers was going to get traded anywhere, it would be there.
Wow.
But I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be traded because he also could come back to the Packers or he could retire, as I learned on the Pat McAfee Show.
Oh, okay.
Shout out. Ian, is it possible that in Aaron's contract and when he had his whole situation last offseason, they come to an agreement, is it possible that they have a list of teams that they won't trade him to?
What was decided when they redid his contract was basically like, and this isn't in the contract, but it was more of like a verbal man-to-man kind of understanding. Like, if you don't want to be here, we will come together, we meaning the Packers and Rodgers, and send you to a place that we can mutually agree upon. Obviously, he's not going to like the Bears or the Vikings, for instance. And I don't even know if they would send him to the NFC. But, a place like Denver that he likes, that's out of conference, that also is willing to pay what it would cost, I would say that would probably make some sense. It's more like we'll work with you if you don't want to be here. Yes, out of respect. Yeah, out of respect.
But the team could definitely angle that as this is Aaron's decision to want to leave, especially if it's not in the contract and all that stuff.
It will be Aaron's decision.
But they could easily make him look like a very terrible person with all of their sources potentially leaking narratives of, Mark Murphy and Gutekunst were staying up for the last 10 days trying to get Aaron, and Aaron wants to I just feel like that could become a situation. How would it work, you think? They would have to find a team that he would be trading, because we were talking about this because he said he was going to come make his decision here, but he said he's going to do it before the free agency and everything happened.
What day? I'll be here too.
No, you won't. Yeah, no, you watch at home.
That's right. Sorry, pal.
You watch at home because you swear on FCC regulated shows and try to take people off the air.
Can't have it. Up.
You said shoot in your head, but your kids and everybody else heard shit, pal. All right? So you don't get to be here the day that Aaron's here, allegedly. But even if he isn't, how would that process go about working? He and the Packers would talk. He would say, well, I appreciate you guys. I'd like to move on. Then they'd start figuring out a team. And then would the Packers expect a lot in the trade back, especially if it's an agreement between Aaron and the team? How does that go, you think?
Yeah. So there's what you went through is why these trades are so hard, because there's so many different variables. He's going to want to go someplace good, but it's going to have to be someone that can pay what the Packers would take, and it has to be something massive. It's like the same thing with, when Russell Wilson maybe kind of sort of thought about getting traded last year, and I think maybe the Seahawks would have listened, but it'd have to be something where can't turn it down. And that's what it's going to have to be. So we're talking multiple first-round picks, enough to where the Packers would give up a franchise quarterback and say, this is worth it because the trade is even. So what number of first-round draft picks or players would be even if you're trading Aaron Rodgers?
But it isn't an even situation, right? Because they've come to an agreement with Aaron that they will get him out of town if they can find a dance partner. And then what happens if Gutekunst or Murphy's like, nah, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. They can do that forever, right? I mean, that's something
forever. Right. Wow. But you would think they wouldn't out of good faith, right? But then, of course, the
Business
Broncos
is filled
know,
with that.
Right, but then the Broncos know, okay, well, maybe the Packers kind of need to trade him, so we'll offer a little less because Broncos would like to pay less because if Rodgers is on that team, he'd like to have draft picks to build his own team. I'm talking about the Broncos. So this is this is why this is very complicated.
Yeah, and he could just come to a team that's already built.
Yeah. Maybe.
Indianapolis Colts.
Oh,
Stay at home.
Oh,
What was that? Why not come to the Colts?
Stay at home.
Why not come to the Colts? What do you think?
I
Ian?
mean, they got a good team.
Yeah, they're staying.
Great team.
Defense.
Great team.
Lost their
Oh.
defensive coordinator. I read about that.
Yeah, he went to Chicago.
Good
Somebody-
running back.
What about no first round pick? Does that hurt?
There's future drafts all the time.
That's right.
There's
No
future
first-
drafts all
does
the
hurt.
All the time.
Yeah, but they have Carson.
AJ Smart hurts.
Trade material.
Yeah, Carson's a first rounder.
Trade Carson.
Carson's worth a first rounder at least.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cheap.
But if Carson comes back, I'm on Carson's side. I'd like to let everybody know that.